The Christmas weekend NFL games will continue on Sunday with a 10-game slate. So let's get right into this edition of Hitting the Books, where we look at the best bets for Sunday's games. And joining me for the betting breakdown is sports betting content creator Shantelle Shand. Shantelle, what is going on with you this holiday weekend?
You know what? It's going pretty good. It's busy during the holidays, of course, but we got lots of football on the slate, so that's always fun.
Lots of football all spread out across the next couple of days. And Shantelle, let's start here locally in New York with the Jets. They will look to get back in the win column as they host the Commanders. The Jets, they're 3-point favorites in this contest. The over-under for this matchup is currently at 37 points. What's the best bet for this game?
Well, the one bright spot for the Jets this season has been their defense. Their defense has been really good. It's won them games. Washington's offense has been sus. Of course, Sam Howell got benched last week. He's still expected to be their starting quarterback. But the one thing that I really noticed was the Washington rush defense. They were absolutely brutal last week. They gave up 179 yards on the ground. That is no good. And as you know, the Jets love to run the ball. So I don't think the Commanders' offense is going to be able to keep up with the Jets just because the Jets defense has been winning them games. And I think the Jets are going to rush it all day. So Breece Hall, I feel like he's going to have himself a day. So I would lay the points with the Jets here.
Wow. People haven't said that too many times this year, Shantelle. Laying the points with the Jets, home favorites. All right, Gangrene fans have to be happy about that one. Next up, big Sunday afternoon matchup between two 10-4 teams as the Cowboys visit the Dolphins. Miami, currently 1.5-point favorites. And look, points are expected to be scored in this one with an over-under of 49.5. This is a close spread, Shantelle. So do you like Dallas as underdogs, or are you rolling with the Fins at home?
Well, the crazy thing about this game, Dex, is, as you mentioned, both teams are 10-4, but we're going to find out who the pretender really is because Dallas is 0-3 on the road. They're a terrible road team. They need this W. They're playing back-to-back road games. And then you take a look at the Dolphins, and they have 0 wins against teams above 500. And we're still going to figure out if Tyreek Hill is going to play or not. But I think the biggest focus would also be the run game for Dallas. Their rush defense is absolutely brutal. They gave up over 170 yards to James Cook last week. Miami can run the football really well. I believe they're number 1 in yards per carry, about 5.1. They got a crazy two-back tandem. So for this one, I'm going to lay the points with the Dolphins.
Laying the points with the Dolphins. All right, I don't know if maybe we should call this the fraud bowl because somebody's going to get exposed here in this one. We'll see how that plays out with the Dolphins and the Cowboys. Now, the Sunday night game features the 7-7 Broncos looking to keep their playoff hopes alive. They are hosting the Patriots. Denver favored by 7 points at home. Over under for this one, 35.5. Do you like the Broncos to cover here or the Pats to pull the upset?
Well, you know, the Broncos throughout the season, I feel like they've been up and down. They looked terrible against the Lions last week. They gave up 42 points. Jared Goff had 5 touchdowns. So we're seeing holes in that Denver defense. The Pats, they're arguably the worst team offensively in the league. Bailey Zappi, I believe, had like 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I guess if we're looking on the positive end, that's not too bad. But the Pats, their bright spot has been their defense. They have a top 10 defense in the red zone. And I think this one is going to be a really close game. I don't like that spread, so I'm going to take the Pats to cover in this one. I think it's going to be really close.
All right, looking for a close game there on Sunday Night Football. Last thing for me, Shantelle, you know I like the player props. What are a couple of player props that you're eyeing for Sunday's Week 16 slate?
Well, let's stick to the games that we talked about. I talked about the Jets. Breece Hall, his over-under for rushing yards set to 48.5. I like the over here because the Commanders gave up 152 yards to Kyren Williams last week. And like I mentioned, I think Breece Hall is going to have himself a day. As for the Miami Dolphins, Raheem Mostert, Dallas run defense is brutal. They gave up 179 yards to James Cook. And this two-back tandem in Miami is crazy. So Raheem Mostert, his over-under set to 57.5. I like the over there as well.
All right, going with running backs for the player props on Sunday. It's going to be a busy Sunday. 10 games on the slate for the NFL this holiday weekend. We'll see how all these bets shake out. That is Shantelle Shand, the great sports betting content creator. Shantelle, happy holidays. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the football.
Same to you, Dex.